The first overall pick in the 2025 NHL Draft, the New York Islanders select from the Erie Otters Matthew Schaefer. Welcome to the Matthew Schaefer New York Islanders rebuild, and in today's video it is going to be part 1 of this rebuild, and all I can describe this as is the rebuilding stage. This is Matthew Schaefer, one of the best defensive prospects we have seen since Rasmus Dahlin. The Islanders jumped from 11 to 1, and the Islanders have been a constant playoff team, but they traded a guy like Brock Nelson, and this is going to be a very interesting rebuild, so make sure you stay tuned. This is a very long series, so like, subscribe, and let's go. Okay, here's the rest of the Islanders team we have to work with. Ilya Sorokin is in net, one of the best goalies in the game, one of the best goalies in the NHL. We also have Noah Dobson here, who could be moved, Adam Pelech, Ryan Pollock. This D-core is so much better than the forward core, but we have too many players. And then on forwards, we have 2 elite potential guys, Cole Eisherman and Matthew Barzal. Everybody else is pretty mid, and the New York Islanders were always a mid team, so that's unfortunate, but we did get Cal Ritchie. So here's the NHL entry draft, and we are going to be trading up to pick 6. I think that's the best thing, and we're going to be trading Noah Dobson. I think the Capitals are a team that could use Noah Dobson. They're a buying team, and I mean, if he doesn't want to sign in New York, you can get out of here, especially for the 6th overall pick, so we'll see you later. Okay, so obviously you saw we selected Matthew Schaefer, but Misa, Higgins, Martone, and Frondell go next. And who are we going to take? We could take Denoyer, we could take Braden Coots for some reason, who's ranked at 7, but we're going to go with Victor Eklund, a complimentary player. Eklund may not have the highest ceiling, but I really like what he brings to our team. And then we're going to also trade Adam Boqvist and Bolduc for some younger forward prospects, because we kind of need those. And we're just kind of clearing out the team, clearing out the deadwood. We have a lot of no movement clauses, but a guy like Trevor Van Riemsdyk, he doesn't want to play here. Let's be real. He can be relayed to a third team. And shout out my boy Casey Cizikas, incredible New York Islanders player. But we want to send these guys to places they can win cups. So the Vegas Golden Knights can have him. And we're also going to trade Pierre Engvall because the New York Rangers are somehow dumb enough to take on his contract, which is very interesting. And here's the rest of the draft here. We're going to take Jenks from the USA East, maybe a New York boy. And we're also going to take our boy Bill Zonin, who's ranked at 77. Here are your awards. No, obviously we didn't win anything, but we did win the Calder Cup, which is very nice seeing our boys get some awards. Cole Eisherman there, getting Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. Liam Foudy as well got an award for Playoff MVP. Here is what we did in the re-sign phase. Here's all the contracts we gave out. Just a quick rundown of who we signed. We have a couple of players to sign. Victor Eklund, I want to bring him over to North America, play him in the AHL or NHL. Then obviously our boy Matthew Schaefer, our golden child, is going to play here. So next up, we need a coach. We obviously lost Patrick Waugh. We need to figure out who the new coach is of this team. And I think a temporary solution is a guy like Oldrich Kindle. He's a A+ teacher. I think that fits with our team. We really need teachers, and that's what works. Okay, so let's see if we get him, please. And there we go. Oldrich Kindle has signed, and you obviously need a mentor, so Ryan Suter signs as well. Here are the lines for season number 1. I mean, this team is looking pretty okay, I'd say. I don't know, that we could be a good team. We don't have star power, but we have a lot of depth, and we obviously have one of the best goalies in the league, so I can see us doing very well. I don't know how that's going to work. And then obviously in the AHL, we have a lot of different prospects that we are looking at. Okay, here is what our team is kind of looking like heading into this season. We have 2 first-round picks, an E on offense, an E on defense, an A+ on goaltending. We are cooked. Here we go. Game number 1, the Colorado Avalanche versus the New York Islanders. Welcome to season number 1, everybody. Matthew Schaefer's NHL debut, and we are underway. Glad to have you along with us, fellas. Welcome to the game. Barzal chasing Taves. Here's Nichushkin. Valery Nichushkin into the zone. Pollock pokes it away. Nichushkin back at the net. Nichushkin out front, and are we serious? What a start to the year, boys. Here we go. Lee Captain Lee, back of the net. Anders Lee, fake cycle. Anders Lee, back bang. There we go. Rookie of the year, maybe. Cole Eisherman, his first career NHL goal, and it is 1-0. What a start for the kid. First career goal, first career game. You know this kid is going to put a lot of pucks in the back of the net. That is 100%. Paul Mary. Oh, what a pass. Pollock up for Sipakov. Yeah, I think it's Tizbakov or something like that. Pajot, toe drag release. That is devious work that JG Pajot toe drag released. Here we go. Overtime is underway. Horvat. Pelich. Lee. Shooting. Yeah, I think we're going to a shootout. Oh, maybe not. Bang. Oh, we're going to a shootout. That is rough right there, fellas. First game shootout. Here we go. Big save by Sorokin on McKinnon. Here's our first shooter. Matthew Barzal into the zone. Barzal toe drag to the forehand. Big save by Blackwood. Natchez in. Marty Natchez shooting. Save by Sorokin. Here we go. Bo Horvat, our second shooter, coming in. Toey. Oh, what a move. Bang. That was awful. Oh, my goodness. Makar in. Yep. Kale Makar scores. Of course he does. Kale Makar scores. And why is Tizbakov shooting? What are we doing? What are we doing, Oldrich? You suck at coaching. Oh, my goodness. And we lose game number 1. There may be a lot of losing this year, but there might be for this team as well. The team that has Michael Misa, the Nashville Predators. They look very similar, and we gave them Boquist, so let's get into a game. Here's Pelich for Pollock. For Pelich. Oh, what a pass to Captain Lee. Reverse hit, bang, sit down, buddy. Eisherman in, backdoor bang. What a play by the boys. Maybe play of the game, maybe play of the series. Oh, shoot. That is a big-time injury right there to one of our better defensemen right there. I mean, maybe the best defenseman, you'd say. But here, oh, my goodness. I did not expect this to be second in the Metro. Is very interesting. So, shout out to the boys. I don't think we're going to do that great, but I stopped on July 1st for a reason, and you guys will see that in a sec. But here are the stats. I think everyone's playing decently. Eisherman has 27 points in 35 games. You absolutely love to see that. How is Matty Schaefer doing? 11 and 32. We will take that. And then in net, Ilya Sorokin. Okay, here we are. Cole Eisherman extension. He has played 2 years in college at this point. He's played 1 year in the NHL. This is like what Lane Hutson's doing this offseason. We have a chance to extend our boy right here, Cole Eisherman. This is interesting. Okay, Izzy, what are we going to give him? 8 years, I'm thinking. Is it going to be a lot? Ooh, whoa. We can get him by 6 by 8? We got to do that. We got to do that. There is no way we are passing up. Bang. What an extension on Cole Eisherman. Another guy we want to extend, Simon Holmstrom. Now, we want to be careful. We don't want to pigeonhole ourselves like the Islanders in real life, but I like that extension. Oh, no. Bo Horvat, our number 1 center, is injured. Look at this. Without Bo Horvat, we've lost every single freaking game. What is going on right now? Bo Horvat, is he that important? Here we go. Perinovich for Kemmel. Back for Dufour. Back for Kemmel. Bang. Oh my goodness, Pajot, you cheeky bastard. How the hell did you... Why would you steal that? Here we are at the trade deadline. We are probably where we should be, 7th in the Metro right now. Somehow we're worse than Pittsburgh, so we got to pick it up, boys. Looks like all our stats are pretty cooked, though. Oh, my goodness. Last 10, 9 and 1. That is awful. That is horrible, boys. What is going wrong right now? Barzell's a -19. Horvat's a -13. Anders Lee could be traded. Pajot could be traded. I wasn't going to trade them, but now that we're selling. Paul Mary's another guy on the chopping block. You know, I am a new GM. I don't feel attachment to these players the same way that that Lou Lamoriello felt. This is my team now. I can build it how I want. And I think we're going to look to move a lot of these guys to championship teams. A lot of them are old, so let's get to the trade deadline here. And we are underway. So, we have Vince Dunn, Anderson, Teravainen. You see this list. We have a lot of options to go through. Let's start it off right now. First thing, Sean Gabriel Pajot for a first-round pick. I think this is a good trade for both sides. Dallas, gets a cheap centerman with a retained salary. We get a first-round pick, and that's a deal. There we go, baby. Next up, Anders Lee. I want to trade him to a team that can win the championship, the Vegas Golden Knights. That is a good team that can win a championship, who's willing to give up draft picks. And a second and a fourth should be good, and that one goes through. Next up, Kyle Palmieri here. I think just, trade him to another championship team. I saw the Oilers there. I saw the Canes. So Colorado. I think the Oilers could use a cheap player like Kyle Palmieri, so we're going to send him over there. And then obviously we're going to trade our boy Ryan Suter here. We want him to go win a cup. He can go to Colorado. They have a good record, so we're going to send Ryan Suter over there. Okay, here's all the trades that went down here in the 2026 trade deadline. I don't see too many big names. Mario Ferraro, Bo Akey got shipped off. A lot of our trades were the biggest, but John Gibson to Pittsburgh, that's a weird one. Here are the lines. Victor Eklund is going to be playing second line center. That's how you know this team is absolutely cooked. But I think we'll be okay. I like how this team is looking for the future. And we're going to give some of our young guys a run. Here we go, Barzell, Perunovich, Duclair, there we go. Anthony Duclair, a bomb from the blue line, beauty. Here we are, end of season number 1, and the New York Islanders tanked successfully. We are in 8th place in the Metro Division, last, and we have some horrible numbers. But I don't think we were the worst team in the league. We were 4th worst. We like to see that, though. Barzell, Horvat, and Eisherman hit 60, and then the rest of the scoring just dipped right off. But our young guys scored a lot, which is nice to see. On defense, Matthew Schaefer, 29 points, 79 games. Every defenseman had points and was a horrible plus-minus. Sorokin wasn't at the top of the goalie list, but that's okay. And then, here we are, Demidov and everybody. Eisherman had the most goals for a rookie, I'm pretty sure, so that's good to see. And Cale Makar had 113 points, and Connor McDavid had 132. He will win the Hart Trophy and the Art Ross. And here is how Noah Dobson did for any New York Islanders fans who are interested. The Florida Panthers have gone back to back to back and won 3 cups in a row. That is crazy. They win the 2026 Stanley Cup, and Philly gets the number 1 pick. Here are the retirements. Brent Burns retires. Did we have anybody? I think we had Clutterbuck. Nope, nobody. Okay, so here we are at the draft interviews, and we get to interview 3 prospects of our choice. We have the 5th overall pick, if you guys saw. And Mikey Burchild is a guy from America. I think that's worth it. He could be from New York, actually. I have no clue. I think he's from Minnesota. But, he's an American. He could sign. Keaton Verhoff, I would love to pick him, but he's all the way on the West Coast. So he might not play for the Islanders. And then Vigil Bork is Swedish. I'm sure we have an IKEA and some meatballs. Hopefully that's not racist. And I think we could be able to attract him, but is he the player we want? I think we want to go for like a bigger player, but it's hard to find big players with skill, especially in this video game. But here's how we're looking right now. Forward core, weakness. Defense core, weakness. Both are E's. That is horrible. And Ilya Sorokin has dropped down, so we're at a B. First trade, get rid of Varlamov. That dude played awful. Get the hell off my team. Next up, see who's available. So, oh my goodness, an 83 overall franchise potential. It teams up with Matvey Michkov. That is devious work right there. Okay, number 5. We have Vigil Bork. We have Mikey Burchild. We have Keaton Verhoff. We have Daxon Rudolph. All 4 of our targets right there. Now, Keaton Verhoff's a little bit away. Do we want to wait for that? I don't know. When this says NHL ready, maybe they're not really NHL ready. But I think we got to take the American boy. I think that's my pick. I don't know. I think I'm going to do it with the 5th overall pick. The New York Islanders select from U.S. Development Program, Mikey Burchild. He is a playmaking sniper with 95 offensive awareness as a rookie. That is crazy. Vigil Bork goes number 2, or right behind us. That's not what I meant to say. And then Keaton Verhoff goes to Utah. Here we go. We have the 25th overall pick. We're going to trade back in the draft. No one really I saw with some talent We're going to pick up 2 second-round picks. I think that's a fair deal for both sides. Maybe we gave up for a first for a second. That's not good. But even with our second-round picks, we can get the guys we want. And Graviteh, another American boy, we're going to take him. Hopefully he wants to stay in America. And then we're going to take our boy Oleg Ivanov here in the 4th round. He could be medium elite, and he is. That is a massive pickup for the boys. Oleg Ivanov, what a dog from Belarus. Here's how the draft went. And if you're curious, here's how the first round went. Although I don't know how many of you guys know every single prospect. And some are made up as well. But here we go, signing our rookies. Mikey Burchild, we're going to bring him up. I think that's just the best thing to do for his development. Anyone else we can bring up? Not really, but I'm liking how we're looking in the prospect pool. If you guys don't remember, the Islanders had the worst prospect pool ever. But, here's us looking at contracts. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do with the other 2 guys, but Joakim Kemmel definitely coming back. So, here we are in free agency, and Connor McDavid is available. This is a stacked free agency class. Look at the RFAs. Look at the UFAs. We could be in prime RFA territory. So, here we're looking at firing our coach. We're going to promote Kindle to the assistant coach, and we're going to go look at a head coach. We need a real guy, somebody who's going to lead our team into the future, and I'm thinking of Dean Evison. He has A's in teaching, A+ coach influence, A offense, A defense. He fits with most of our team, not all, but most, and he runs a good system, and I think it would fit our team. So first up, to make this system work, we have to sign a backup goalie. I'm thinking Ilya Samsonov because he is Russian, and I think Sorokin, him, would get along very well. I'm pretty sure they're friends in real life. Hopefully I'm not, being racist. But next up, I'm looking at signing a guy like Michael Kesselring, but we don't really need to pay that kind of money to somebody. So I think we're going to go down a bit and go for a guy who's willing to play a depth role, and that guy right there is Hayden Fleury. I'm liking how this is looking. Hayden Fleury is going to sign on. That is absolutely perfect. There we go. Next up, we're going to go for a center/right wing. We don't have many right shot players, so Nick Bukestad's going to be a perfect player for our team. And then the last guy we're going to look at is either Nick Schmaltz, just somebody to play in that second line center. I think Nick Schmaltz could be a good guy to look at. Jean-Gabriel Pageau, obviously we know very well. He is a bit old though. Scott Lawton as well. I feel like we could really use a right shot centerman, and all 3 of the other guys are left. So we could also look at Kirby Dach. He is an RFA. Maybe we could go down the trade route if Montreal's interested. So we're going to check that real quick. I think there's a possibility that he could not be for very much, but if we paid him, we'd pay like a 2nd round pick, which isn't that bad value, but I want to see if we can get him for cheaper. So Kirby Dach could give up Perunovich, who we saw we're not re-signing anyways, a 5th, a 7th, and a guy we're not re-signing. I think this is a deal and a half. Scott Perunovich, he's maybe a bit too offensive. He's not playing on the power play, so there's really no use for him. So we're going to trade him for Kirby Dach's RFA rights, and that's good. Next up, we're going to trade our boy right here. We're going to sign our boy, Michael Kesselring, who we were looking at earlier. We're going to pay him $4 million, 2 years. I think that's fair. He's probably going to accept that, so shout out Kess. And Dean Evison rejects our offer. That is not good. But, I'm sure Kesselring... Never mind. Neither of them accepted. That is awful right there. Okay. We're going to try and make a weird-ass trade, but it'll make sense. We're going to try and trade for Shakir Hamadullah. Never mind. I'm not trying to pronounce that, but he's an RFA as well. And I think we could get him for a cheap price, just like a 3rd round pick, maybe a 3rd and a 4th, or a 3rd and a 6th or something. And that trade goes through. So we got 2 RFAs we got to sign. And Shakir's not asking for too much. We're only going to sign him for 2 years because, we don't want to take up some of Matthew Schaefer's contract space. We don't know how much that contract's going to be. And then Kirby Dach as well. We're going to offer him 2 years just to make sure that, again, they don't interrupt with Matthew Schaefer's contract, which is coming up in a little bit. So $4 million and a couple, $3 million, I think it was. But Dean Evison does accept the second time we offer him, so that's good. Kirby Doc and Shakir both accept. Okay, here are our captains. So we have to name a new captain for this team. I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, we're going to just name our boy Matt Barzal. I mean, that's the most easy thing ever. We're also going to sign a veteran player. This doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but Sam Gagner, you're our Ryan Suter. Going to develop the boys. And we're going to talk with Dean Evison. What does he think for this team? I think we could make the playoffs. You know what? That could be a possibility. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'd like to see that. And we're also going to get some team bonding going. I think that would really help out the boys. And here are your lines for season number 2. We're a lot better of a team than last year. We're a lot younger. We're a lot more skilled. And I don't know if we're going to make the playoffs. I think this team may not have enough grit. We may be a little too young. We may not have enough defense from our forwards, especially our top guys. But we look good. Okay. Season number 2, starting off against the Chicago Blackhawks. This is going to be an interesting one, so let's go. New York Islanders, season 2. Can we get anything going this season? Can we make it back to the playoffs in Schaefer's second year? Doc chasing. Oh my god, what a hit against his former team. Kirby Doc backdoor. That one's off. Bang. I knew that goal was going in. The puck always finds our boy Cole Eisherman. That dude has scored first again. Oh, shot. Bang. Matthew Schaefer. What a beauty, baby. Let's go. Richie. Oh, what a play, Cal. Pulak. Nice play. Bang. There we go. Ryan Pollock. And I think that's game. Here is Michael Misa's team. Next up, we go to the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Philadelphia Flyers. Here is Porter Martone's team. That's how he's looking, third liner. And then here is James Haggins. He's tied with Schaefer. Now, Matty doesn't have many X factors, but that's okay. Who the hell is Oh, that's the first overall pick. And he absolutely nips on us. That is unfortunate. Okay, come on, boys. We are not losing to Kim here. Sanheim just absolutely danced Schaefer. That is not good. That is not good at all. Matty Schaefer, what are we doing? Risto, trying to play it out. Stolen. Bang. Svechkov. Bang. Bang. I don't know how the hell that went in, but we will take it. Here's Doc. Back. Kirby. Back for Romanov. Fake shot. Bang. Oh my god, what a tip. Simon Holmstrom, and that is game. We win. Let's go. There's no way we're going to lose, right? There's no way. Kim, come on. Man. Fuck! Barzal. In overtime. Horvat across for Pollock. Back for Barzal. Matty Barzal. Hold. Wait. Bang. Let's go! Matthew Barzal, and that's game, baby. Let's go. Woo! Here we go against the Utah Hockey Club and James Haggins. Barzal, what a move. Woo! This kid is nasty, Matty Barzal. Oh no, Simon Holmstrom is injured, the man who scored the big goal against the Flyers. And our second line's pretty good. It's all 84s, but we're going to put up our boy Liam Foudy, who somehow has 93 speed. I don't know how that's a thing. Here we are at the trade deadline. We are 29, 31, and 2, so not as good as we expected. But that's okay, because we're only in year 2. People, NHL fans forget, you have a lot of time in a rebuild. You got to take things slow. You got to build a methodical approach. Now, our problem, as I can see it, we have no offense. We have a lot more depth. Our top guys aren't scoring as much. I don't know if that's good or bad, but our defense, they are playing like ass. Our goalie is playing like ass. So at the trade deadline, we are sellers. That's just the way it goes. And Matty Duchene is available. I don't think we're going to get him anytime soon, but we can get some guys. Anthony Duclair is getting traded, so that's a good thing. Second round pick. Thank you very much. Clear up some cap, and that's the only trade we made, and we are here at the end of the season. We suck as well. 21 wins? 31 wins? 35 wins. I couldn't see. I might be blind, but this team apparently cannot see the net. as I don't know what's happening, but the 63 points from your best player in the year 2027 is embarrassing. That is not what you like to see. Year 2, Matthew Schaefer did not see any development in his point total, so that sucks. And our goaltending was horrible this year. Here are the league stats. We need to come back better than ever for next year. We did not get a Rookie of the Year here from Victor Eklund. Defenseman, it's going to be Cale Makar. Yep, already called it. And then for forwards, it's going to be Connor McDavid. Yep. Oh, nope, it's Leon Draisaitl. That is interesting. Alright, oh my goodness, voice crack. So the Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup. That was the craziest voice crack in NHL YouTube history, but we are picking 6th overall. Here is the retirement. Blake Wheeler is going to be retiring, but here we are at the draft, okay, fellas? So I think there's a deep draft here. There's a lot of options for players. I think we could really get a good player here with our 6th overall pick. So we have 31, we have 6, we have 24, we have in the second round, we have an E on the forward core, nothing there. We have a C in the D core, C in net. So we really need a forward, but we could draft defense, we could draft a goalie. Now, Maxim Sipakov, absolute stud, but I don't think a grinder necessarily fits our team. So we're going to trade him and Nick Bukestad for 23. And then we're going to package these picks right here to move up in the draft to number 11. We're going to try to, sweeten the deal, get a 4th round pick out of this. Bang. And great. Okay, let's try that again. Here we go. And the Utah Hockey Club have accepted our trade for pick 17. So that's good to see. Here's how the first 5 picks went. We are here at number 6, and there's a guy that we didn't even interview, Louis Gaudreau. We're just going to take him. He's the top guy on the board. You always draft ahead, and he's a 79 overall two-way defenseman. So here's how the rest of the draft went so far. This is the guy we were debating, Saul Shinkin. Is he better than Gaudreau? Only time will tell. And here we are with our next pick. I think we're going to take a guy who has no weaknesses, 2 years left, another two-way defenseman in our boy Aiden Bouchard or our boy Brock Cripps. I think we're going to take Bouchard. He has less years left, and that is an easy pick right there. So next up here, we have another pick here in the first round, and there's a guy sitting right here, Muzzin, NHL ready, PK Subban, Amrit Muzzin. Yes, we just drafted 3 defensemen, but it'll be worth it. And we're going to take Rich Sharp here to finish out the draft. Okay, time for contract extensions. Let's go. Here we go. So first up, defenseman, Matthew Schaefer. What is he looking for? That is perfect. Okay, we are gonna pick up Matthew Schaefer here for a steal of a deal, $6.75 million over 8 years, and Matthew Schaefer accepts. Next up, we're going to try and offer Victor Eklund a contract. He has an almost max team interest. So we're going to offer him a big time 8-year deal, 7-year deal. And we're going to get that one done. Next up is free agency. And there's a lot of RFAs available. There's a lot of UFAs available. We are trying to make a big splash here. And I think our guy is Jared McCann. We are going to overpay. We have a lot of money to spend. And we have a lot of contracts already signed, so we don't need to save money. We can do this. And Jared McCann, please join the team. Yes, he has. Let's go. We got a star center, number 1 center for our team. Here we're gonna trade Scott Mayfield. Making 3.5. We're gonna offer Cal Ritchie an extension for 5 years. I think that's perfect. 1.5 mil. Here are the lines for season number 3. They're looking okay. I don't know what we're going to do. It's very similar to last year, but we got Jared McCann. And I think this team's in a better spot. And hopefully we will absolutely destroy all the competition and make the playoffs, starting with the Winnipeg Jets here at Canada Life Center. Come on, boys. This place is sold out for game number 1 here. Why would you come watch the Islanders? I have no clue. But here we are, Jared McCann's debut. We are underway. Okay. Romanov drops it for Eisherman, Cole Eisherman. I don't know why we're playing the drop back, but we're going to dump it in for McCann. Back. Look at this play. Wait, bang. Oh my goodness, what a start to the year. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Pulak, Burchild, Kemmel, Shooting? Oh my god, what a tip. Victor Eklund. That was sick right there. Oh no, that sucks right there. Matt Schaefer has been injured. That's rough right there. Or not Matthew Schaefer. What am I saying? Goudreau. That's who I meant to say. My bad, boys. I don't know what's going on. Bo Horvat's injured now. That sucks. Until January 9th. That is a long injury. We just lost our second line center. Svechkov, you're going to have to go in there and do well somehow. I don't know how that's going to work, but you got it, buddy. I'm telling you right now. Okay, we have another injury here. Adam Pelech is down. We are really getting an injury crisis here. That is not good at all. That sucks. Here we go. Eisherman back. Schaefer bang. That was the easiest goal ever. Matty Schaefer. Let's go, baby. Okay. So, we have more injuries. That sucks. Going to call up Kuhlmans. I don't know how we acquired him, but he's going to be called up at 78 overall. And we have another injury, as you can see. The injuries keep piling up. We're going to have to call up Muzzin to our team. And then we have another injury to Simon Holmstrom. Wait, who was it? Simon Holmstrom? I couldn't even see. Was it Matthew Schaefer? Yeah, it was Matthew Schaefer. I don't know what's going on, boys, but the injury crisis is hitting us hard. Here we are at the trade deadline. Looks like everyone's a minus. That one sucks right there. So we need a puck-moving defenseman or something. Maybe a couple forwards to boost our scoring. We need to score goals, man. We cannot score goals at all. We can't keep the puck out of the net, apparently. But, I mean, obviously we're going to be sellers. We're going to trade Kirby Dach. He has 1 year left. And I don't know if I want to re-sign him to 6x6. So, the Buffalo Sabres can do that. And a 7th round pick will do the trick. And Kirby Dach, you are off to Buffalo. Okay, next up, we're going to trade Samsonov for a 3rd round pick. I mean, might as well. We're going to trade Shakir for Sachin, a young prospect who could fit our team. We're going for a different theme this year. And this is the point in the rebuild where I realized that we're going to need a new plan. We need some change. Look at this. Defensive awareness for Barzal and Eisherman. Solo. Richie. Solo. And then if we go to the defensive side, Ryan Pulock, Adam Pelech, their offensive awareness is solo. We need to build a balanced squad. Our coach is balanced, right? Dean Evison runs a balanced system. He works well with balanced players. So we want to get rid of all these one-sided players and bring in players who can play both sides of the ice and do a bit of everything. So Alexander Romanov is going to be shipped off to the Colorado Avalanche for a 1st round pick. And this is going to be the start of our absolute implosion of the New York Islanders. So as you can see by the length of this video, this is the end of episode 1. Now, episode 2 is going to be very, very interesting. We have a new plan ahead. You know, we're moving towards this balanced scheme. We missed the playoffs for a 3rd year in a row, but we're showing some progress. And to really take that next step, I think we need to commit to this plan, right? We can't have Eisherman, Barzal, Callum Ritchie, Joakim Kemmel, Adam Pelech, Ryan Pulock, all these one-sided players, and have a balanced coach. We have to lean one way or the other, defense, offense, or balance. I trust Dean Evison. Think all these guys could get moved, except for, Eisherman's not a balanced player, but we can have a couple of those guys, but at maximum 1 on every line. We can't have 2 on our first line like that, 2 on the same D pair. So that's the plan moving forward. Hope you guys are excited, because the next episode is going to be an absolute banger, and I'll see you guys there.